We often think that our native language is perfect and the most practical. However, there are more than 8,000 languages in the world, and more than half of them are in danger of going extinct. Only 45 languages concentrate more than 90% of the inhabitants on the planet, and this trend is expected to continue. But as languages disappear, the most common languages are exponentially growing in terms of speaking population. Today, we will see the 10 most powerful languages of the world, not the most spoken or the most difficult, but the 10 most important for the world today. Number 10. Hindi. With approximately 300 million native speakers, the Hindi language is one of the official languages of India, along with English. However, even if you learn Hindi, there is no guarantee that you could speak it with Indians in the country, since there are more than 1,400 languages and dialects. Oftentimes, different dialects of Hindi differ so much that it causes miscommunication among nearby communities. It's for this reason that English is used for government and business. Number 9. Portuguese. With more than 220 million native speakers, Portuguese is the official language of more than 10 nations around the world. However, one of the main reasons why this language shows up in this list is due to the prominence and importance of Brazil. Brazil is home to 95% of the language's native speakers, and its prominence as a world power is what makes this language important, especially for Latin American countries that wish to trade with Brazil. Fortunately, Spanish and Portuguese are very similar. Number 8. Japanese. It is the language spoken by more than 130 million native speakers, not as large of a number compared to other languages on this list. But Japan is the third world power, and speaking this language is essential if you wish to get involved in business in the East Asian region. It is a relatively easy language to learn compared to Chinese, though it is still considered as being one of the most difficult languages to learn, with an estimated 1,900 hours of learning to reach a sufficient B2 level. Number 7. German. German boasts more than 100 million native speakers. It gains strength mainly in Europe by Germany and different countries such as Austria, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Denmark. Considered to be a difficult language to learn, it is a necessary language if you want to be involved in the political and economic affairs of Europe, given the fact that Germany is a main power of the region. Its importance stands out above all in business, since Germany is an important headquarters for several manufacturing companies. Number 6. Russian. More than 150 million speak it, as it was one of the 2 most important languages during the Cold War, and this importance still stands. It is an official language of the UN, given the economic and military power Russia possesses. Clearly, it's a very important language to know to enter in international politics. In fact, half of the population of the former Soviet republics have some knowledge or fluency in Russian. In some countries such as Ukraine, up to 65% of the population speaks Russian. Number 5. Arabic. A language spoken by more than 200 million people, it is also the official language of 20 countries. It's considered to be a complicated language to learn, and its reading and writing is reversed, in reference to popular languages such as English. Although there are many different dialects of Arabic, Egyptian Arabic is widely known due to the popularity of Egyptian movies and music in the region. Oftentimes, native Arab speakers themselves encounter problems when attempting to communicate with different dialects, such as Moroccan or Saudi. In order to reach a sufficient B2 level for this language, it's necessary to devote more than 2,300 hours of study. Number 4. Spanish. The second most spoken language in the world. Spanish boasts more than 400 million native speakers. Spanish is particularly dominant in Latin America, where it is the official language of more than 20 nations, and it is the official language of more than 20 nations all over the world, such as Spain, Morocco, and Equatorial Guinea. The economic and political power of Latin America as a whole makes Spanish a compulsory language for diplomacy, economics, literature, and business. It is an official language of the UN due to the demographic, economic, and political growth that Latin America will have. By 2050, Spanish will have more than 650 million native speakers. Number 3. French. Considered to be the language of diplomacy, French is spoken by more than 100 million native speakers, 66 million coming from the country of origin, France. France is an official language of the UN and of all existing international organizations. It is a mandatory language to learn in the world of diplomacy and business. By 2050, French is predicted to have more than 700 million native speakers following the demographic explosion of old French colonies in Africa. It is one of the most useful languages to learn for business after English and Mandarin Chinese. Number 2. Mandarin Chinese. Currently the most spoken language in the world, it has more than 700 million native speakers. Mandarin Chinese is the official language of the People's Republic of China, the most populous nation in the world. It is considered to be among the 3 most difficult languages to learn. The Chinese language is particularly complicated due to its 4 tones. It is easy to accidentally insult or compliment someone if you don't know the proper tones. It is estimated that in order to live a normal daily life, it is required to know 4,000 Chinese characters. Given the importance of China, and considering that it will be the next global superpower, it will be vital to learn Mandarin Chinese in order to be connected to the global economy and politics, which is why it is also an official language of the UN. In order to be proficient in Mandarin Chinese, you will need a total of 3,800 hours of classes. Number 1. English. English is practically an obligation in today's world. It is the language of science, economics, business, engineering, and so on. It is the most learned language in the world, with more than 800 million people who study it. English highlights its importance because of the prominence of the United States as the current superpower of the world. With more than 360 million native speakers, especially in the United States, United Kingdom, some countries in Africa, and India, English is the lingua franca, or the language that unites the whole world. English is considered to be the easiest language to learn from this list, with an average of only 600 hours to reach a proficient B2 level. As expected, it is an official language of the UN, and in general, when you travel to a country where you don't speak the language, it will typically be the universal means of communication. So which of these languages do you speak? Are you considering learning more than one of the languages from this list? Which languages do you think will be the most important in the future? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already to watch more content like this. See you next time.